Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger is calling for a full hand recount for presidential election results in the state of Georgia.
The first thing you have to do before you walk in those doors is get your temperature checked.
Well, Mountain Dew is celebrating its 80th birthday by giving fans a special treat.
I have to tell you guys, I thought I was hearing rain outside. It turns out it's actually not raining. It's some of this water here that I actually was hearing inside of the UGA booth.
And in Georgia, if you haven't received your absentee ballot yet, you'll have to vote in person to cast that ballot. Well, in this morning's good news, it took more than a decade and a home remodel, but a Kentucky woman has her lost engagement ring back on her finger.
Second year at the Sunbelt Ag Expo, and I am now an honorary cowgirl. I'm loving this hat.
I'm Tasha Reed. Time now 6 o'clock, and all eyes are on the White House as we wait for those final results of the presidential election. In sports this morning, every week we get the chance to highlight a player who stepped up and helped lead their team to victory.
So they have all the safety precautions in place, like the personal space for the students. Well, you know, you are in Georgia, so you know that Southern hospitality comes natural.
Well, it's certainly evident here at the expo.
So you know a little bit of thing about peanuts, right?
Just a little bit.
So why is it so important for you guys to be here year in and year out? So from a segregated lunch counter to an integrated jail cell, they were arrested for disturbing the peace. Thank you so much. Let me hold this up so they can see. Coming to you now live from the Wildcat Cafe as we're talking about all things Fort Valley State University. Most people should know this from joined now by Dr. Lattimore, but you guys are all about agriculture. Talk to me a little bit about that. Don't forget, we have more coming up. Stay with us.
He came here, you know, to visit, and he was going to come back home. He just never got the chance to.
Holding back tears, Clarissa Barnes pleaded for answers after her brother, Willie Stringer Jr., was shot and killed. She says they just want answers into why someone would kill the 32-year-old father.
We missing somebody we truly love. You know, we can't get back yesterday. But we can live for tomorrow. Just somebody come forward.
According to Albany police, Stringer moved from Blakely and had only been in Albany for 2 weeks. They say he went to the store to grab a Powerade. On his way back around 12:30, he got caught in the crossfire between people shooting at each other on South Madison Street.
We're a family that forgive, but we just need answers. He didn't bother anybody.
Well, if you have any information into Willie Stringer Jr.'s death, be sure to call Crime Stoppers at 436-TIPS.
Patient Ambassador Shaniqua Smith and Shift Supervisor Catherine Rector work for Environmental Services at Phoebe. They make sure the rooms are clean and safe, not only for the patients, but also the staff. When COVID-19 took over the city, they were there to help prevent any further spread of the virus.
We go in, strip the rooms, then we go in and fog the rooms. Once we fog the rooms, then the housekeepers will go in and do a bleach terminal clean.
Rector says they fog the room with the peroxide solution. It usually takes about an hour and a half from start to finish.
I always think about this could be one of my family members that would come in here that could be sick. I don't want them to be in a room that's not been sanitized.
They suit up every day for you and me, making sure the rooms have been cleaned 100% from top to bottom.
People don't really think we're on the front lines, but we actually are, because without us, the rooms would not get clean like they're supposed to.
What's your shirt say? Never underestimate Phoebe employee who worked through COVID-19 pandemic. That's awesome.
Yeah. Phoebe CEO Scott Steiner says it's time to sing their praises.
You know, it takes the whole Phoebe family to do what we need to do for our community, and these two great women are just part of an incredible team that we have in environmental services that does what has to be done for our patients, for our community, and we couldn't have gotten through this without them and their hard work.
Terica Parks is sharing her story of survival.
I want people to take this serious, because if they knew what I went through, the pain that I had to experience.
It all started after she performed at an Albany church on March 10th. Just a few days later, she says she knew something was wrong.
So she was tested for COVID-19 and went home to be in quarantine for 14 days.
It almost felt as if I was in labor because of the pain. It radiated from my stomach to my back, and nothing I was taking was helping. My fever would not go down. I was constantly coughing because talking on the phone, I could not breathe. Walking to the restroom, I could not breathe. That's how I knew something seriously had to be wrong. So every day I laid in bed, and at one point, I was ready to just pretty much give up my fight. I told my husband, I said, you know what, I can't fight anymore because that's how bad I felt.
And that's when she knew she had to go to the ER.
They had an hour time frame, he was saying, to get all these different medications in my system before, I guess, major organs could have began shutting down.
The next day, she posted this video on Facebook telling me she didn't feel like she was going to make it.
I don't understand why I'm going through what I'm going through.
I said I felt like I had to get some type of message across to maybe, save someone else's life.
You better pass my class, no flopping. Gonna log in every day, every morning I'm watching. Yeah, we virtual and you know it's up, so we about to take it up a notch.
What's Poppin' by Jack Harlow is a very popular song. It gets the kids excited. They like to dance. So What's Poppin' is just like, what's up? Y'all ready for virtual learning? So we just Exactly. We wanted to meet them where they were, just to get them excited about virtual learning.
Miss Evans is a teacher at Monroe Comprehensive High School. She put this together with fellow Albany State grad and Monroe teacher, Mrs. Williams.
Miss Williams, been popping. 2020 new school, you're dropping. No COVID-19, ain't worried about a thing when economy ain't no stopping.
They tell me this was a fun way to get the kids excited for the new year and engage digitally so they can be ready for the virtual classroom. They have since went viral, inspiring students across the nation to not only give their all with the virtual learning, but also to stay safe with COVID-19.
Wear your mask, wash your hands, keep it safe. This is because I really thought that a pandemic said something. On the South, we do more than rap. Doing all we can just to get you out the trap. Teaching up, lifting, motivating, and engaging our students going straight to the top, no cap.
About right along here is where I was.
The story of the Leesburg Stockade girls shows age didn't matter when it came to discrimination and inhumane treatment of African Americans in the 60s.
It was horrific living in this deplorable situation for 60 days without beds, water, a toilet, shower. We didn't have anything but 4 barely cooked hamburgers per girl per day.
Dr. Shirley Green Reese remembers a time when she and 14 other young girls were arrested. They had nothing with them but the clothes on their backs. These pictures Danny Lyon took tells 1,000 words.
I said, take my picture. That's why people are wondering why you're smiling in jail in that situation.
She wasn't smiling because of her situation, but just a 13-year-old, happy to finally see someone. You see, she says they ended up spending 60 days locked away from family, all because they were peacefully protesting the segregated movie theater in Americus.
Nothing like this was here. It was an old broken down toilet, no sink, and they had a running shower.
Well, Pines grew up in this community and never knew this even happened, but he knew he had a role to play.
That none of my friends or family or even several of my teachers weren't even aware of it when I asked them about it. So I just felt like I had to do something. I didn't know what I could do.
After almost 3 years, with the help of Dr. Reese and the Georgia Historical Society, this piece of history will never be forgotten.